few days ago, I had the extraordinary experience of meeting a man that I'll call Kamal. Kamal was born as a Palestinian living in Israel. His family is historically Christian, going all the way back to the first days of the early church. But in 1948, Kamal's family fled from the violence of the warfare in Israel, and after the war were not able to return. Living in exile first in Jordan, they later settled in Nigeria, where his father was a businessman. One day his father was walking down the street in Nigeria when he came across a man who was an accident victim. Everyone was ignoring the man, though he was deeply wounded and appeared to be close to death. And Kamal's father, because of his Christian witness, decided that he needed to attend to this man. So in a similar fashion to Jesus' story of the Good Samaritan, he bound up this man's wounds, though he was a stranger, carried him to the hospital. And when he arrived at the hospital, the authorities would not receive this man unless his bill was paid in advance. And so Kamal's father not only paid the bill, but promised to return in a couple of days to check on the man and settle any additional charges. This despite the fact that he had no idea who the man was. Well, sure enough, this man got better. And when Kamal returned to the hospital, the man and his family expressed their significant gratitude to Kamal's father. In fact, they tried to repay the debts that they owed him for the hospital costs, but Kamal's father said, "Oh no, my repayment will come from another source. I just wanted to show you the hospitality of the love of Jesus." Well, that was the point at which this family said, "Would you please at least let us treat you to dinner in our home to show our gratitude?" And upon further investigation, Kamal's father learned that this family was actually a family of Israeli citizens of Jewish heritage who were now living in Nigeria. In fact, the man he had bandaged up was an official with the Israeli government. When Kamal's father returned home with this news, Kamal was appalled. He said to his father, "How can we possibly go and break bread and have a meal with our sworn enemies?" His father simply looked at Kamal and said, "Son, Jesus, our Lord Jesus, said, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you. We will go and we will honor this family and we will show the love of Jesus." Well, during the meal, of course, the family learned that Kamal and his family were Palestinian refugees. And in the course of the dinner, the family from Israel said, "Would you consider returning home?" They said, "Oh, it's not possible." But the man said, "Let me see what I can do." And sure enough, before long, the entire family were granted visas to return to Israel. Kamal laughed and said, "Can you imagine Jordanian passport holders living in Nigeria getting visas to immigrate back to Israel?" Today, Kamal and his family dwell in a little village outside Bethlehem called Bet Sahur. It's actually the little village where the shepherds in the Bible were keeping watch over their flocks by night when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they became the first recipients of the good news. You know, I've always been touched by the fact that those angels went out and reported to everyone what they had seen, and no doubt their lives were changed. Jesus is still changing lives today. As His good news comes, He comes to us saying, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." I think we all want that life that Jesus comes to give. But we have to remember that His words are true and that He's come to show us the way to live. Kamal's father chose to believe the truth of Jesus' words and to live the way Jesus called us to live. And it unleashed the most wonderful miracles in the lives of his family and in the lives of others. Here at the Mission Society, we exist to join Jesus in His mission around the world. We're trying to take seriously the way of Jesus and the truth of Jesus, even as we exhibit the life of Jesus. I'm so grateful that you've joined us in that mission. I hope today that you will consider, what is it that Jesus is saying that should change the way I live today? And as always, we're grateful for your partnership with the Mission Society. God bless you, and have a Jesus-filled day.